Hey everyone, welcome to Anxiety to Aligned. I am Angie Hartzell and I'm helping you live your best life through your true self. My motto is quality of life matters. And the reason that I have come to make that my message is because of everything that I have been through. And one of the absolute biggest obstacles that I have been through is depression. Depression is something that just shows up like that, like undercurrent underneath the, beautiful ocean that looks like it's moving and flowing with ease. And this undercurrent just sucks you in. Depression was something that I had never faced until I had faced it. So when people ask me about my depression and when I talk openly about it, one of the things that I say to them is, I was never depressed until I was. It hit me so incredibly hard. I had moments that I felt like I was outside of my body. I was extremely, extremely alone. I decided that I was done with life. Like I just gave up on everything with the exception of the absolute bare minimum basics of taking care of my children. I did not show up in any other way. I was a functioning depressed person. I was out in society just enough to keep images where they needed to be. If my children were invited to a birthday party, I went. I made sure that I walked up to the parents of the child and the children and all of that, and then I would find myself at a table all by myself, or I would move way off to the side and either be on my phone or just kind of stand there watching the children, acting like that's what I was doing. But I was literally removing myself as much as I knew how from society, so I could just kind of be numb. So depression started for me when my husband's health had gone downhill for, I think it was the third time. So if you learn from me, if you learn my story, one of the parts of my story is depression. Another part is anxiety. Another part is lack of money and never having enough. And then the other part is stress. And the depression was one of those things that once it appeared, it was a new part of me. It showed up even when I was having amazing parts of my life. It would show up like the next day. So I could have the best day ever on a Tuesday, and I could wake up on a Wednesday and I would be depressed. So I'm going to give you my timeline. In 2011, my husband was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. At the time, it was just Lyme disease. In 2013, my husband had a relapse of that Lyme disease. This time, the relapse came with way more symptoms, including not being able to walk down the steps, facial paralysis, legs not working, arms not working, brain not working, stomach issues, constant chronic pain. That was in 2013. In 2015, he had yet another relapse. This was when we decided that enough was enough, and we got him different help. We left the medical only system and we took him to a doctor who was holistic medical, who specialized in arthritis and things like that, but he also specialized in Lyme disease for his own personal reasons. So we got my husband the help that he needed, and he was living a good quality of life. Everything seemed like it was, coming back to normal the best that it could. Of course, he still has a lot of things that were reciprocal that just kept showing up and kind of being a part of his everyday life. And that was in 2015. In 2017, we found holistic healing at a whole new level for him, gave him his full quality of life back. He was really living his best life in 2017. Now, from 2013, I can't really say that I was depressed per se. I was in that, like, we're going to figure it out. Nothing is going to stop us. We've got this. This is not going to be our life. It's all going to get better. Lots of hope, right? It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better in 2013. 2015 came, and he was struggling pretty bad. And it was actually my mom that said, like, well, maybe you should try this doctor. She lived in a different state at the time, and we traveled to the other state. We live in Pennsylvania, and we traveled to Maryland to get him the help that he needed. In 2015, I was like, okay, this is really getting hard. This is not getting any better. Even though in 2015 we really found some new hope and things like that, the everyday family life, the marriage, the stress, the hurt and pain that he had always gone through, and the loneliness that I was going through because of him going through all of that, it got very real. It got very, very real. So I would say that I was depressed from 2015 to 2019, 100%, to the point where I used to clean houses for 7 years. I had my own cleaning business. I cleaned commercially and residentially. Like I said before, I was a functioning person who was depressed in society. I showed up. I did what I have to do. But the thing that you have to realize about me at that time was I worked 100% alone. So I got up alone. Well, I got up with my kids and put them on the bus for school. I'd go to work alone. I would work alone. I would go to the grocery store alone. I would stop for gas alone. I would come home and be alone. My kids would get off the bus. We would do whatever we had to do. That was just, like I said, kind of the bare bone basics. Like, I feel like such an awful mom through those years, because when I think about previous to those years, it was always like, what art project can we do? Let's go outside. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like, just full of life mom. And then 2015 to 2019 was like survival mom. Survival mom is here. Yeah. So we did whatever we had to do, right? Whatever was on the to-do list, whatever they needed. Of course, I bathed them every night. I gave them their dinner. I gave them snack. I, of course, took care of them, but that took all of my energy. My marriage was in shambles because it was extremely one-sided. My husband was the shell of a man that I had once known. He had gone downhill so fast, so quick, that literally, like, trying to pull any part of who he was out of him was so exhausting to me. He used to put his shoes on to go somewhere as a family, and then he'd sit on the couch with his shoes on and just look down at his shoes, and I knew he wasn't physically going to go. He would try to go, but between his pain and his own depression, he wouldn't go. And there was a lot of just quiet time and loneliness that was the dark, sad loneliness in that moment. Dark, sad loneliness of, facing that kind of like the hope and the fun and the happiness and stability of knowing that I was in a solid marriage, and the stability of knowing that I was being the best mom that I could be, that was gone. And it really was a dark, lonely, but like quiet time of my life that also sounded like there was a rock concert going on all around me, because I felt like even though I had this loneliness, this sadness, this inability to be anybody that I thought that I was in the past, my inability to be human in a way, it also felt like my life was very loud. It felt like there was so much noise that was bigger than me that I could not even fathom how I would break through any of it, how I would face it, how I would challenge it anymore. Like the feisty, driven, I'm going to conquer this, I can do anything, let's just go have fun, let's take day trips, let's just live life to the fullest. That person was completely gone. Completely gone. The ability to dodge phone calls, lie to family and friends to say, oh, I was just cleaning the house, or I was just doing laundry, or I was just getting ready to get in the shower, or whatever I could say to like let them know that I was busy to get off the phone so I could go back to the couch or back to bed. That was who I was. That's who I was. So if you're relating to any of this, if you've been here or they are here with the, sadness and loneliness, feeling like there's nowhere to go in life, like drop in the comments below drop the comment me, because I want to definitely connect with you and let you know that I see you and I feel you. So that was from 2015 to 2019. In 2019, I was watching a Facebook video, I believe it was a live, of someone that I had kind of known in my life. She was another mom that I had seen at different friends, like gatherings and stuff. She was always full of life and things like that. And she was explaining how she had like a lot of lifelong anxiety in her life, and how she had started taking these supplements that would help her feel better and not have so much anxiety. And she talked about like some moments of sadness, but certainly not like I was experiencing. But so long story short, I reached out to her. I said, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're taking. Because, when you're depressed, there's like phases of it, right? There's like, wow, am I depressed? Then there's, I'm depressed. Yeah, I am. Then there's, wow, I'm really depressed. Like, I don't even care about life. And then there's, I'm done. But then there's, I don't really want to be depressed. And then there's, all right, I really don't think I want to be depressed anymore. I don't know how to help myself, but I want to help myself. And then there's, what can I do to help myself stage? The stage where you really have to fight. You have to find the inner strength. You have to pull anything and everything out of yourself that is left in the tank and get yourself out. And that's where I was in 2019. 2019, after many years of my husband's illness and many years of fighting for him and for myself and then giving up on all of that, I fell to my knees at my front door of my old house. And I said, God, I don't know what I want, but I just want hope. Anything. I'll take anything. I was sobbing. I was crying on the tile in front of my front door. And I said, I'll take anything. Anything you got. So it was about 2.5 weeks later. I was watching Facebook and I saw that video. And I reached out, and the supplements that she was on, I started to take. And there's a whole big story around these supplements and how I got involved with the company. And I wanted more than anything for that company to be what I was supposed to do in my life, but it didn't work out that company was what I was supposed to be doing. But the supplements saved my life. They gave me my life back. I saved my life by saying yes to those supplements as a tool. And little by little, those supplements, and I'll put a link down below. I'm not all about pushing these supplements because I feel like they're not for everybody if you're not ready, right? Like I said, like years 1, 2, and 3 in my depression, you couldn't have tried to help me. Year 4, I was like, get me out. Get me out. But these supplements were mental wellness supplements, and it was what I needed. I needed to find me again because there was no fight left in me. There was no way to find my way back to happiness. There was no ability to see the future left in me. There was no sunshine in my days. There was just none. Like I said, my marriage was non-existent because my husband struggled every single day to just be alive. There was no love or attention left in the tank or conversation left in the tank for me with my husband. And I knew that, and I had to face that. I was a single mom for the most part. I was very much a single mom, and I felt like that. And I had friends. I had friends, and I had family, and I had people, but nobody understood me. Nobody understood me. It was my job to figure out how to pull myself out of what I had been living in. To say that I would say yes to the supplements. I had no money at all to buy these supplements, none. And I held off bills to buy these supplements because it was live or die in that moment. When I fell to my knees that night, I had asked God for hope during that moment, but I also told him at the same time that if you want to take me, I'll go. That's how dark it was. So I started to take the supplements, and I started to get around people who had many reasons to want to live and many reasons to want to fight. And I got back in my fighting mode again. And as I was cleaning houses every single day, I used to listen to music. But I switched that. Even though music usually would lift me up and things like that, it didn't anymore. I switched it. I started listening to a podcast called The Purpose Life. I started to listen to this woman's story who had overcome so much and went from literally rags to riches, just trying to help other women. And I listened to that podcast as much as I could, driving in the car, cleaning the houses every day. After my kids went to bed, I would just listen to that podcast. And then I started listening to other podcasts. And then I decided that based on information that I had heard on the Purposeful podcast, Purposeful Life, what was it called? The Purpose Life, I think it was called. I started to do what she said, which was change things. I had to change what I was letting in to my heart and in my soul and in my mind. I had to change them. I didn't watch movies that were sad anymore. I didn't watch movies that were angry or filled with action and drama anymore. I watched only comedies. I only let myself watch comedies. And still to this day, I only let in what I know I can handle at that time. I can watch detective shows. I can watch doctor shows, but I have to be in the right energy to do that. I can't watch those shows when my energy's low. It's not good for me. It doesn't serve me, and I get sucked in. I can Netflix binge when I'm in the right energy to do that. When I'm avoiding things and procrastinating, I will not and I should not Netflix binge. Right? When I'm in my creative mind and I just need time to kind of process it without any major thought, that's when I Netflix binge. That's when I'm supposed to. When I do it to avoid and procrastinate and fall into my depression again, I should not Netflix binge. I should get up. I should go out into nature. I should surround myself with people that lift me up. I should start listening to podcasts again. Whatever it is that I need to do. So if you want to help yourself, if you're in depression or you're finding yourself dipping your toe into depression or out, the best thing to do is to change what you're letting in. First of all, go to qualityoflifematters.com. I want to help you. I want to help you. There's so many things on my website to help people. You can grab anything that you need there. But also, I want you to know that spending time with yourself, as long as it's good, valuable time that you know is feeding your soul and feeding yourself, that is what you need to be doing. So comedy movies, upbeat music, getting in nature, spending time with your pets, spending time with friends that lift you up, going to events that lift you up, making sure that whatever you're letting in, it serves you. If you're driving in your car and a song comes on the radio and it instantly turns you sad and you're depressed, you need to change the station. You need to have the power to change the station. Get rid of what is no longer serving you, even if it's for 1 minute. Don't let it not serve you. Don't eat the foods you shouldn't be eating. Don't go towards the darkness. Don't go towards the sadness. Don't let it in. If a friend texts you and their story's this long and it's this big long sob story and they're someone that never wants to help themselves, then they are not lifting you up. You do not have time for that text message. You don't. It's just drama. It's just sadness that they don't want to help themselves with. You don't have time. You need to tell them that. You need to say, you know what? I'm trying to work on myself right now. I'm happy to hear anything that you have going on that's upbeat and positive, but I cannot be here right now in this moment for anything negative and drama filled. Now, if they have true sadness, like something happened to them, of course you're going to have time for them. But when they're just like, oh my gosh, my life sucks. Like, I can't handle this today. You know, like when that whole drama shows up, I really don't do drama and I don't think that you should either. It's too much. It's too much and you don't need it and you need to put a boundary up. I'm amazing at boundaries. So if you need help with boundaries, head over to my website, look on this channel for other videos because boundaries, they will set you free. They will set you free. They will give you freedom and peace like you've never had before. I absolutely love boundaries and I think that they are an integral part of a healing journey. I really, really do. So if you found value in this video today, make sure you're grabbing that like button and hitting that for me. If you think that I'm someone that you would like to learn more from and help you on your own healing journey, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And as always, make sure you head over to qualityoflifematters.com because there's so much there for you and I want to help you. Thank you for listening to my depression story. It was a lot for me to open up and go through, but at the same time, I know that I'm helping people by doing that, and that's what I'm here to do. That's my purpose. So until next time, bye.